5-0 sweep on the player props in yesterday's video, 31-9 on player props this week in 4 videos on this brand new show. And I've got one pick in every NBA game today in this video starting right now. We've got the first game up here using Odds Shopper, the best games view in the market, in my opinion. Magic laying 7.5 points on the road against the tanking Wizards. If I were to take a spread, I would take the Magic minus 7.5, but I'm going to be real with you. Spreads are 11-11 on this new show format. And it's because the NBA at the end of the season is really tough to bet on games. Today, I'm just doing player prop. One prop for every game. 31-9 record this week speaks volumes to which is a better format. If you don't like that, you got to tell me down below. If you do like that, and you're like, yeah, just one player prop every single game, every single video. You tell me that down below, and I'll get rid of spreads. My goodness, 31-9 record is outrageous. Y'all could have won over 20 units profit with me this week following all my props. And the first prop I'm talking about, heading over to mysparryedge.com, is going to be Paolo Banchero, over 34.5 points and rebound. Now, part of it is because he's facing a bad team. The other part is because I don't know if Cole Anthony's playing. And if Cole Anthony misses this game, I love this play. 7 games without Cole Anthony this season, and Banchero's hit the over in 6 of 7 games, averaging just over 40 points and rebounds per game. Over the last 4 games without Cole Anthony since the All-Star break, it's been even better, my friends. We had this 49 PR outcome against Toronto, March 4th. Then the Pelicans, 45. Then 53 against the Wolves. Cole Anthony played some of the game against Cleveland, left, and did not play against Houston, and 37 against Houston for Paolo Banchero. So he was able to rack up 35 and 37 against 2 very good teams, 2 very good defenses in both the Cavs and the Rockets. And now he gets a patty cake matchup against the Wizards, who have 0 defense. Everyone under the sun is dropping $120 on them. The Magic finally, potentially, can pop off as a whole team, and Banchero can lead the charge. As long as Cole Anthony is out, I absolutely love the over 34.5. If Cole Anthony ends up playing, I'll have like the 34.5. Next up, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, under 44.5 points. Why? Well, here's the deal. The Thunder are 19.5 point favorites at home. SGA did not play last game. He's been out, I think, since Monday or Tuesday. Chet Holmgren ran out there last game with a bunch of backup second unit players. Didn't matter. Lou Dort is out tonight. Jalen Williams is out tonight. And I'm still taking the under because I don't know if he's going to be out there for his 4th quarter rotation. LaMelo Ball and Mark Williams both played last night. They played a lot of minutes, took a lot of shots, and performed well. Do they both play tonight? I don't know. I think at least one of them sits, maybe both. Is Bridges going to play tonight? I don't know. What are the Hornets going to do? They're tanking too. Give me the Thunder in an easy win. However, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, when he's playing alongside Chet Holmgren, doesn't matter who he's faced, doesn't matter if we've had wins or losses, the unders have been smashing. In 22 games with Chet this year, he's hit the under in 17 of 22. It gets worse when they win the game. And tonight, I can't envision a scenario where they don't win. All right, next up, we got the Pelicans on the road against the Timberwolves, getting 14 points. Now, we just saw these 2 teams play. Shockingly, Pelicans came ready to play last game. There's a couple players in this game. We cashed out Jordan Hawkins over 10.5 points last game. I don't see any Jordan Hawkins player props right now. I use mysparryedge.com, but one I do like is Anthony Edwards. They're not going to lose 2 games in a row against this Pelicans team, and Anthony Edwards ain't going to let it happen. Currently this morning, his player props look pretty good, and his points props specifically at 27.5 minus 115 BetMGM. It's there on Fliff. If you have, Fliff or Nutters, 40 plus states have access to it. I like it there. Prize Picks looks really good. Underdog looks really good. You got juiced lines virtually everywhere. 28.5 on a few books here, and I think it continues to move. Anthony Edwards is scoring at will as of late as well. I mean, here's his last 5. And the Pelicans, he just played them. He had 29 points against them, 5 of 19 shooting, okay? 38 minutes. If he shoots that many times, he's going to hit the over more often than not. Matter of fact, this season against the Pelicans, he has shot the ball 19 times, 21 times, 22 times, which resulted in 29, 32, 35 points. They're a terrible defense. They're the type of team he gets to feast on. Give me Anthony Edwards over 27.5 points. I'm not overthinking this one. This is another easy one. 2 plays in this game I'm interested in. We're going to look at Stephon Castle for the Spurs, and we're also going to look at Quentin Grimes for the 76ers. This is absolutely outrageous. Quentin Grimes and his points prop, 24.5 It feels like a steal, my friends. I'm looking at myspurryedge.com. It's $9.99, by the way. And all I'm showing you right now are player odds and trends. Meanwhile, people are not signing up for player odds and trends. They're signing up for the optimizers. Fliff Optimizer, NCAA basketball, March Madness. Onyx has college basketball. PrizePicks college basketball. PrizePicks, one of the members went 41-17 in the 58 picks they used from the PrizePicks Optimizer 2 days ago. We were posting that on Twitter. This has been an absolute steal. The fact that you get all these optimizers, my friends, it's ridiculous. And then the player trends tab, you know, everybody loves using this. We'll probably take a peek at that later. Meanwhile, all I'm showing here, again, are the player odds and the trends inside their player cards. You do what you want with that. There's a lot of good stuff here. Quentin Grimes over 24.5 points seems like an absolute steal. Yes, I use that word loosely on these shows, but it really does. So Grimes has been launching 18-plus field goal attempts and playing just about 30-plus minutes, regardless of the score. They lost by over 30. They were actually losing by like 36 when he came back into the game in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes remaining. My guy had 24 PRA at that moment because I was betting on him and I needed to see what he was going to do. He ended up playing the final 7 minutes of the game and finished with 35 PRA. He racked up 11 PRA in the final 7 minutes of a massive blowout. And because he scored like 8 points in the final stretch, he took like 7 shots. Guys, gals, watching my show, Quentin Grimes will not stop playing that many minutes. He will play in blowouts, and he's going to take a ton of shots. Last 5 games with all those minutes, 39 minutes, 25 shots, 31 minutes, 23 shots, 32, 19, 43 minutes, 27, 32, 21. 3 of those were massive blowouts, and he's still playing minutes and shooting the ball. Now he plays the Spurs. They ain't blowing out anybody. They are favored in this one at home, but I don't care. Give me Quentin Grimes over 24.5 points. Minutes and opportunity often equals production for decent players. Quentin Grimes has worked his way in the top 5 most improved players for the futures voting right now, which is crazy. It's literally just his end of season stretch that's gotten him in the top 5 voting. Wild. Dude's going to earn himself a massive contract here at some point. On the flip side, I want to look at Stephon Castle for the first time today. Off the top of my head, I want to look at his points and assists. Yikes. So we were betting on points at 16.5, 17.5 the last couple games, and it's jumped by 4. Okay, so I guess I'm off this. Let's stick to Quentin Grimes. That's going to be my official pick for that game. Let's move on. Next, we've got the Rockets and the Heat. Rockets laying 5.5 points on the road against the Heat. Heat finally won one last game after going 2-8. I think losing 7 of those in a row out of a 10-game stretch. So they're maybe back. I don't know. But Tyler Hero potentially in play. Jalen Green, I mentioned last video, over 21.5 points. I'm going right back to the well. Let's check out Jalen Green props this morning, where his points prop is at. And it's at 21.5 again. And we've got Amen Thompson back in the fold tonight. And I don't think that hurts Jalen Green at all. Amen Thompson's probable. Amen Thompson is great in transition. He is good defensively. And Jalen Green, I think, is going to be in a good spot to pop off here. Averaging 21.62 points per game this season. He's going to launch up a bunch of threes, and you can always sit pretty with those threes when they're landing. And right now, I mean, I'll just show you his threes market. He's cashing like crazy. Look at this, 4, 5, 5. It moved from 2.5 up to 3.5 today. 3+ has happened a ton this season. I can show you that by sliding the slider down. He's hitting 3 threes per game as average, 41 of 69 games over the last 15. Again, when Jalen Green goes on these runs, you just take the points, my friend. 3+ threes in 11 of the last 15 games. And points wise, he's hit the over in 9 of 15. So if I play in any play in this game today, it's going to be Jalen Green points against the Miami Heat. I don't think I'll touch anybody on the Heat side against the Rockets defense. Moving on, we've got multiple players I want to talk about in this one. Detroit Pistons minus 8.5 on the road against the Mavs, getting 9 at home. They are still clawing their way to the holding on to the 10th seed, the play-in around for the Western Conference standings. Meanwhile, the Pistons trying to get into and stay in the top 6 seeding for the playoffs, so they don't have to do the play-in around. It's going to be a big battle out there in the East for the 4, 5, 6, and probably the 7th seed. So we'll see what happens there. But the Pistons laying 8.5 on the road is interesting against this team because there's no quit. There's no quit in Dallas right now. PJ Washington, we cashed this one with his last game, 25.5 PRA. Let me type in PJ, and there we go. His points prop is all the way up to 19.5 on PrizePicks. Actually looks pretty good with 20.5 on the books. Oh my goodness, this is not an easy play. I'm going to be real with you. This might be the one I finally jump off on, to be honest. This is very high at 28.5 points and rebounds. Now, part of the issue is because Dwight Powell quietly came back and got minutes earlier this March, and then he had a stretch there where he wasn't playing, but lately he's gone 15, 13, 20 minutes, and Powell is just kind of one of those guys that gets in the way. PJ Washington has done pretty well when he gets his opportunities, but there's another player on that team that actually like a little bit more today, and it's Naji Marshall. If we're going to pick anybody from them, and by the way, my pick for this game isn't any of these players, but I thought it might be fun to talk about. Let's type in Naji and AJI, and I want to look at a few markets for him. Let's actually start with his PRA. I want to look at the over 28.5. You can see minus 110 on a bunch of books right now. DraftKings, BetMGM, Onyx, ESPN, Hard Rock. Open up his player card. He's been doing great, man. Doesn't matter who's in the lineup. Naji has always just needed minutes. This was the same with he was with the Pelicans for a few years there. When Naji got minutes, when there was injuries to Brandon Ingram, shockingly, comes over with him, by the way, and Ingram hurt again, Naji would get minutes and he would pop off. He's a talented player, does not play good defense, though, so he doesn't stay on the court very long for a lot of teams, but he's being forced to right now. Mavs are running 8-man rotation. That ninth guy, every single while, that ninth player will get a few minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, much like Dalen Terry for the Bulls or something. But 28.5 PRA against the Pistons looking pretty good. But, again, I'm showing you a few props here. They're not even my official pick for this game. My official pick is going to be on Cade Cunningham, the leader of the Pistons ball club. I called this last game. I said, yeah, I'm all over it. Cade Cunningham getting ejected, then, was playing great, and then it didn't play the final 14 minutes against the Hawks because of a blowout. I said, this is the Cade get right spot. He finished with 47 PRA last game. Look at his points and assists right now, 36.5. I love this line. I love it. I think this is a really good play. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And even if it is, I still like the line itself at 36.5. It's not because of a full season, hit rate. Oh my gosh, look at all this green. No, not really. A lot of it just has to do with the Mavericks. Right now, they're just wretched defensively, and I think we should have a good opportunity for Cade Cunningham to pop off in either category. I mean, we've seen games here this year where he has gone for, 12, 14, 15 assists without Jaden Ivey. And we've also seen games where he scores 38, 40 points without Jaden Ivey. On the season without Ivey, I wrote this down on my notes tab, he has averaged 36.4 points and assists. His average is what this line is for the PA market today. And now we are getting him in a plus matchup. In the last 5 point guards, this is interesting. So the last 5 point guards who had a points and assist line that was over 30, all 5 cashed the over. We're talking some pretty good players too. SGA, Steph Curry again, Damian Lillard twice, Ja Morant. And if you look at them when they played double and how many times they played them, in 7 of the last 8 times a point guard has faced this Mavericks defense, they've cashed the over for their points and assists when they've had a 30-plus PA. Cade Cunningham is the leader of this ball club. Points or assists, he could go nuclear any night. Mavs defense, not good. Turnover friendly. Give me Cade over 36.5 points and assists. Now we've got 4 games left here to talk about. Play in each game to give you. Help me. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. 31-9 this week. It's been a lot of fun on this new video format where I give a pick for every game. And again, let me know down below if you're like, yo, donuts is cool. Just keep giving us 1 prop per game. We're happy with it. Free research is fun. 31-9. I've won a lot of money with you. Tell me. And if you're like, man, I missed those spreads, even though you're only 11-11, tell me that too. I got to know. Let's do it. We got the Celtics on the road, giving the Jazz 13.5 points. Yikes. Why are we betting on this? This is one of those where I'm gonna be like, yo, okay, here's my play, but I don't like it. Like I said that yesterday for the Pacers game. I said it yesterday. Can't remember one of the other games. Just like I'm here giving you a pick per game, but it doesn't mean I like them all. They're not all officials. Matter of fact, my officials are only given in that Donuts pick link down below. Officials went 2-1 yesterday, and only one of my 3 picks were even discussed in the video. This is my first look video where I'm looking at all the games and props for a quick glance. And then I data dive, I deep dive into the odds, the markets, the trends, the signal, and then I give my officials to my members. This is one I would not touch with a 10-foot pole. I don't know what to do with this game. Multiple starters out for the Celtics. The entire team essentially either out or game time decisions or playing 15 minutes and leaving the game for the Jazz. Like, good freaking luck betting on this game. Now, a couple players we should talk about just because I have to pick somebody for the game. They're going to be backups. That's right. Peyton Pritchard, maybe somebody I'd be looking at this morning, PRI. And I got nothing for him yet. See, again, this is going to happen. The books don't know what to do. Derrick White, maybe. Okay, we got some props there. Maybe let's look at his, let's just open his player card. You know, my first take would just be to play his points or maybe his threes market, but he's juiced at 3.5. Rebounds, assists. We go PRA, you know, it's just blowout win type thing. Missing Jalen. I believe Tatum also out. I don't think that Porzingis would end up playing this game. I don't know who's active, but, you know, my first take is kind of like just Derrick White and go. His minutes are good no matter who's in. This is a guy that will run out there with backups in blowouts. It doesn't matter. 38, 39, 26, 37, 38, 31, 41, 33, 39, 24, 36, 36, 37, 37, 33. A lot of breath. But look at all his three-point attempts, too. I mean, 11, 11, 12, 11. 10, 17, 11, 10, 10, 11. My guy's just jacking up shots. So I think I take Derrick White as my pick in this one. And on the other side, if I had to take a Jazz player, it would be Kyle Filipowski over 13.5 points, something like that. We cashed that one. I also mentioned that last video. It wasn't my one pick for the Jazz game, but he did cash. Next up, Cavs, Suns. This is an official pick, a VIP pick. If you're this long into the video after all the editing and stuff, good for you. You're about to get a freebie. Kevin Durant over 29.5 points. Lock it and load, man. I'm not even thinking twice. No Bradley Beal. Matchup is a decent one against the Cavs. One of their weaknesses is against these forwards. And, you know, my favorite part is that he's been catching this at a crazy high rate without Beal this year. And at 29.5 at minus 110. I mean, that's fantastic. You can see some of these books already moving it to 30.5. Onyx, by the way, 40 plus states. You have access. Prize Picks, Underdog, there is active. We'll open up Kevin Durant's player card. Thank you, MySperryEdge.com. Again, the mobile view, which is very slick, very nice, 29.5. And you could see cash. Had a couple off games there, but when you go dive into it, 2 of these 3 games were not good games for him. He had foul trouble, 1 shot the ball, 1 for 9 in the first half. Another one was a massive blowout against Toronto, only played 26 minutes. Last game comes back to like a normal type game where they won by 5 points against the Bulls, and he had 30 PR. Now, he's facing the Cavs, and you'd be usually scared of something like that, but this is the spot to target the Cavs in. It's scoring point forwards, and, you know, Cavs are giving up the 10th most points per game to power forwards this year. Kevin Durant's getting a lot of run. He starts the fourth quarter rotation, so even in blowouts, he plays 30-plus minutes. We love those players that start the fourth quarter rotation, meaning he'll open the third quarter up. He'll play about 6 or 7 minutes. He'll sit the final like 5-ish minutes of the third. Sometimes he comes back in at the end of the third in tight games, plays a minute or two, and then opens the fourth and plays till about the 5-minute mark. They take him out. Don't freak out. They'll take him out for about a minute or two. He'll come back in 4-minute mark, 3.5-minute mark, and close out the game. Other times, he won't come back in for the third quarter. He'll come on in the fourth quarter and play all 12 minutes in a close game. So if it's a competitive game, which the 7.5-point home spread is indicative of the fact that we're supposed to get a good game here, Kevin Durant's going to play a ton of minutes, going to take a lot of shots, get a good amount of three-point opportunity and rebounds. So I think he shoots 6, 7, 8 threes today. And I think the rebounds are there as well. So give me the upside there over points and rebounds. Kevin Durant, 29.5. For what it's worth, he played Cleveland on January 20th and had 30 PR. And when you look at Cleveland last several years with the Suns, he's hit the over in 7 straight games. And yes, that's against Evan Mobley and his potential Defensive Player of the Year award. Moving on. Another game to go. 2 games to go. Nuggets on the road against the Blazers. Jokic already ruled out. Jamal Murray, game time decision. Aaron Gordon already been ruled in. The Blazers on the other side, no Jeremy Grant, no Robert Williams, no DeAndre Ayton. So potentially Klingon tonight against the Nuggets. We'll look at him. We'll look at Avdija for Deni Avdija for the Blazers. I think we got to look at Christian Braun, who is also probable. So let's bounce around some of these player props and see if we can find anything good. And I'll go to Christian Braun first. Nope, no props up for him. How about Jamal Murray? If he ends up being active, that's probably the spot I go right to. Points and assists. One of those. So let's start with his points market and go from there. His points prop 20.5. Oh, that looks so good. If he ends up, here's the thing. If he's out, okay, your money's returned to you. But if he's in, man, Jamal Murray without Jokic, missing, bodies against the Portland Trailblazers in a 1.5 point spread, this could be a really, really solid play. How about points and assists, though? Because if he's going to get a lot of usage, this could be really good at 26.5 as well. Yeah, so I think both of those are probably pretty good plays. I don't know if that's the one pick for this game just yet. Let me go see what else we got. Aaron Gordon has been red hot. My gosh. Look at his 3-point shooting lately. It's been nuts. uh, 4 and 5 in the last 2 games, and he's launching them 9, 4 for 6, 4, 1, 10. Oh, this 1 for 1 was a 7-minute game where he got injured, I suppose. Let's go back to the other side. We'll go see Deni Avdija and his props for today. Points and assists has been an interesting one for him, especially with Jeremy Grant out. They're just missing bodies, and he's playing a ton of minutes, which I love. 39 in a close game against Memphis, blowout against Washington, close against Toronto, close against the Knicks, close against the Warriors, 41-41. So when he's getting this many minutes, how do you not take Deni and some of these props? I mean, look at the rebound upside. Maybe we just go PRA, to be honest, because he's got upside for days in all 3 categories. So PRA, 31.5. PR would kind of be my first lean, over 26.5. Maybe the PA, goodness gracious, the green looks a lot better, right? You like that. But I think I ended up going with PRA in this one. Yes, he did hook that against Toronto, but again, so many minutes, man. Just so many minutes. No Grant, no Ayton, no Robert Williams. Heck, even Jabari Walker, he's going to be out as well. All right, last game, let's get to it. Memphis Grizzlies on the road, plus 7.5 point dogs. To the Clippers, playing good freaking basketball right now. Grizzlies going the other direction in the Western Conference standings. A few interesting plays in this one. So we're going to have to wait on some props for some of these guys on the Grizz because we're not entirely sure who's going to be active fully. Kawhi Leonard threes is very interesting today. For me at plus 145 on DraftKings. I thought that was an interesting line this morning. His points prop being open at 21.5 was an interesting play. Kawhi Leonard, a former first, second, third team overall NBA player and is a walking bucket in the mid-range, gets to the foul line. And when he's shooting this well and this efficient and the threes are falling, hard not to like the plus odds for that because his threes volume is decent enough, 6, 8, 7, 6. Can he bang home 3 of them? Of course he can. Anytime he's shooting well, he can. But this is what I like seeing, man. Kawhi's clearly healthy, 19 field goal attempts. By the way, power forward against the Cavs, and you just saw 33 points against the Cavs from Kawhi Leonard and 7 rebounds. We're running that Durant points and rebounds official VIP pick I'm giving you. So out of all the picks today, that was one official right there. Kawhi Leonard racking stats up. What's not to like about Kawhi right now? His PRA against the Grizz, I think, is probably where I go because you can cash in multiple categories. It's a pace up ball game for him. That would be my pick for this game. All right, I tried to make everything quicker since I didn't have to talk about the games. It was props only. Props are 31-9 this week, 5-0 sweep yesterday. If you like this video and you're like, man, just give me props. That's all you need. Again, tell me down below. I really need the feedback. This show will be what you want it to be for NBA, MLB, and NFL. I think I want to keep this format forever. I enjoy it. It helps me in my process for betting. If you need VIP picks, those 2 links are down below. You want to use the website you saw me use today? You can do that. It's just $10 with code STREAM. You want my VIP picks? That link is $15. There's 8 cappers in there. It's not just me. And I was just doing some side editing here before I closed out the video. And my gosh, the Prize Picks Optimizer. We have a Prize Picks Discord bot. It's $10 down below. It's the MySpurry Ads link. I literally just copy pasted the top 15 picks that the Discord bot alerted. I posted them to Twitter. I did a little recap here. Pretty freaking cool, man. Just no thinking. You got March Madness. This is the March Madness player props. They were the top play. Telling you what, we got from now until April 7th to run the Prize Picks Optimizer for college basketball. It's going to be phenomenal. I grabbed that link down below if you're a Prize Picks user. I'll see you tomorrow, potentially Saturday. We'll see what types of views I get on today's video and type of feedback I get for the format with just player props. And if people love it, I'm coming back Saturday mornings too. And I'll make it Monday through Saturday, but I need the support. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Let's get paid.